So, what does it cost you? What has worry, anxiety, and stress cost you? You commented a lot on that last video, and let's just take a look here. I've got the receipt right here. What has worry, anxiety, and stress cost you? Let's see. Stomach issues, loss of sleep, price of multiple doctor's visits, lack of overall joy, decreased intimacy, hmm, social isolation, the price of therapy, opportunities, friendship, energy. Wow. So, those are some pretty high costs for allowing worry, anxiety, and stress to continue to ravage your life. And guys, mine wasn't even on that list. I mean, all those things, honestly, all those things. But here's my story. I was having crippling panic attacks. It was a month, God bless my husband's soul, a month after we got married. And I got to the point where I could not leave my house. I had been working my dream job. When I was 17, I was diagnosed with bone cancer and was treated for a year for bone cancer. And during that time, I was inpatient and I had two social workers. One social worker was so great. She sat by my bedside. She held my hand. She let me cry to her. She talked with me and shared with me. And it was a beautiful experience. And then rotations happened. And I had another social worker who darkened my doorway twice in 6 months. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be a social worker and I'm going to be the good kind who sits with cancer patients, supports them through what they're going through. And this is what I'm going to do. And so I graduated high school. I went to college. I went to grad school and finally found a job working with cancer patients and their families and supporting them. And I was a clinical events coordinator, so I could be creative, but I also was a therapist, so I got to sit with people and hear their stories. And little by little, and even before this job, I had very high anxiety, but I started having panic attacks during this job, and it was my dream job. And I kept thinking, this can't be happening. This is where I wanted to be. This is where I wanted. This is what I want to do. And I did not realize what was happening until I could not leave my house. And finally, I came to that realization, oh, wow, I have panic disorder. I need to go talk to my doctor. And I need to figure this thing out. So, being a healthcare professional, being a mental health therapist, I realized, okay, so I need to put some healthy things into play here. I need to put these healthy strategies into play. So I actually created a little document that I'm going to add in the comments below for you that talks about what I did. And I, long story short, yes, I paid the price. And sadly, the price was my dream job. I had to let go of my dream job. The worry, the anxiety, the stress, it was overwhelming me. And all of those things that were on this receipt, I was experiencing those things plus unable to leave my home. And again, God bless my husband. We'd only been married a month. And I was thinking in my head, this poor man's going to be like, what have I gotten myself into? Because, here I am, a master's level clinician, and I'm like, I'm shutting myself in at home. Like I can't do this thing called, work or life. But I very quickly came out of that, and that's another story. But think about, what is worry, anxiety, and stress costing you? And it's really the cost of not managing it well. We will always have worry, anxiety, or stress in our lives. And I will talk more about why. How can you say that, Sarah? I'll talk more about that later. But we will always have those things. And maybe that's not such a crazy concept to you. Maybe you're like, well, yeah, of course. So then what's the answer? The answer is how we choose to, or how we learn to, or develop the way to manage it. And that's what I want to help you do. So if you are interested in how I might be able to help you with that, then please, I've added a link to schedule a call with me, and let's talk about how I might be able to help you to learn to manage that worry, anxiety, and stress. I also have tons of freebies on my website. If you're like, yeah, I don't really want to talk to you, then that's okay too. I have lots of information, sarahfalkcoaching.com. So original, right? And then last but not least, there is a group I'm starting. I'm planning on starting, well, I've already started, so please go to the group. I've included the link. Go there to the Worry Less Life, the Worry Less with Sarah Falk. Imagine that. And I'm probably going to be posting an extra video every week in that space just because I want it to be more relational and more conversational. I want that group to be like a safe space where you guys can ask questions, and I'm going to do some live Q&As, and that way you can be like, wait a second, what? You didn't go to work? You had to quit your job? Wait, what? And then we can have more of a conversation about that. And then if you're like, oh, how did you get back to work? Like it could just be a deeper conversation. And that's really what I want. And that's what's going to help you is if you get your questions answered. So worry less with Sarah Falk. That's the group. Okay, you guys, I hope that this has just kind of given you some inspiration that just because the receipt is long and expensive doesn't mean that it can't change. Y'all, we can just take this little puppy and we can file 13. And I promise that if you implement changes, tiny tweaks, swaps, lifestyle shifts, you will be managing your worry, anxiety, and stress in less than a month. So check it out. All the stuff I have to offer, would be happy to talk to you. And we're just going to say goodbye to that hefty receipt. All right, you guys. So I look forward to talking to you again soon. And until then,